Mr. Chair, we're good to start whenever you're ready.
Okay, good evening. This is the Maryland Public Service Commission's public hearing in case 9704, the application by the Washington Gas Light Company for a rate increase, and we're here to hear comments from customers of WGL. And with that, I'll turn it over to Amanda to call the first witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first name that we have on the list is Joel Rosenberg. I don't see Joel, so we'll move on to the next person on the list, which is Nancy Wallace.
Thank you very much. I am my testimony. Good evening, Public Service Commission. I'm speaking tonight on my own behalf and on the behalf of the Green Party, although we'll be submitting separate written comments as the Green Party of Montgomery County. We are a part of the only national political party which does not accept funds from the fossil fuel industry, or for that matter, from any industry, any corporation, or political action committee. We solely represent people and life on Earth, which needs our public policies to reflect science, ethics, and economic common sense. We strongly oppose the rate hikes for case 9704, the 49.4 million or 5.3% rate hike, and also case 9708 to charge the customers in advance for the $495 million, $500 million in pipeline replacements and other infrastructure that has been requested. In case you missed it, last week, scientists announced that the Antarctic continental ice shelf is melting much faster than any model has anticipated. BBC quotes the scientists saying the ice is at a, quote, mind-blowing low, end quote. Another study led by a professor at the University of Denmark said that the Gulf Stream and the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, also known as AMOC, which is the global conveyor belt of ocean thermal energy, may collapse as early as 2025, in 2 years, or up to 2095. This is much earlier than previously thought as even a worst case scenario. Research in 2022 showed we may have already passed 5 tipping points, including the collapse of Greenland's ice cap and an abrupt melting of carbon-rich permafrost, which we can see in Alaska and Siberia. We believe the natural gas industry, including Washington Gas, should only be funding electric replacement infrastructure as the immediate emergency measure to preserve life and civilization as we know it. We are out of time. We urge you to disapprove Washington Gas's rate hike and instead direct them to initiate corporate planning for a transition to 100% safe, renewable energy. Methane capture and reinjection, hydrogen combustion, and other last-ditch efforts to greenwash the natural gas industry are dangerous wastes of everybody's time and money. Right now, today, tonight, every penny counts, every second counts, every effort must be focused entirely on our emergency transformation and survival. We urge you to disapprove this destructive industry's request now. We are out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go back. I just saw Joel Rosenberg.
Hi, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here in opposition to the rate hike, in large part because the state of Maryland has stated goals for climate reasons to essentially move off of gas and onto electricity. And we have a lot of issues that in the state around the STRIDE program, which is funding replacement instead of just improvement of the existing system. There are counties like Montgomery that are working on subsidizing electric upgrades, and I'm here tonight because the OPC sent out their filing around the rate hike, and I'm responding to their talking points essentially. But the thing that really surprised me is that Washington Gas is spending millions of dollars to try and get new customers, and is then looking for reimbursement from the ratepayers that exist. And so, this it's sometimes called the death spiral, where people are going to move off of the gas industry, move off of the gas system towards the electric system, and it's going to leave the people who are remaining there stuck paying higher fixed costs for the gas industry. And yet, they're still advertising to try and attract new customers to the gas system, and the current ratepayers are being asked to pay for that. It's kind of an insane, system that we currently have and that we just need to transcend. So, for the 50 million or whatever they're asking for, I urge you to reject that. But beyond that, I urge you to really seriously consider the future that I'm going to have, that my child is going to have, that all of us are going to have, if we continue to invest in the gas system that we simultaneously are working to shut down, and don't direct those monies towards helping people switch to electric and bolstering the electric grid, which we do actually need to see happen. So, I'm not going to go through OPC's talking points. I don't think that's necessary. I'm just urging the commissioners to take seriously this idea of, if we want to stop burning fossil fuels, which is causing the climate crisis, which the previous speaker eloquently was talking about, then we need a way to not keep funding the gas industry. It's an unusual thing in American capitalist society to essentially target an industry for shutdown, but that's what we're talking about. And the alternative is an existential risk that is increasing to our entire way of life. That's going to be incredibly uneconomic. So I'm asking you to reject this rate hike and use it as a signal to the wider problem that we have to essentially shut down the gas system and move to an all-electric future. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our list is Leslie Wharton. I don't see Leslie, so we'll go to the next person on our list, which is Rob Wald.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me. I had to dial in to get the sound working. Thank you for this hearing. I live in Silver Spring, and I've been a Washington Gas customer since 1993. And I also oppose their proposed rate hikes for a number of reasons. First, Washington Gas has no plan to make significant reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, and instead proposes false and expensive solutions such as renewable natural gas. Furthermore, methane gas emissions are a huge problem throughout the Washington Gas system, including where I live, and the company's methane capture and reinjection program is laughably small compared to the company's emissions. And then in addition to that, Washington Gas's plans will simply hinder Maryland's ability to meet its climate goals. Furthermore, it's not the ratepayers' fault that Washington Gas is operating on and plans to continue to operate on a 20th century business model when we're more than 20 years into the 21st century. That just, the cost of their lack of creativity and innovation, not to mention their ineffective, unproven climate programs, should not be borne by ratepayers. And so I urge the commission to deny the proposed rate increase. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person on our list is Kristen Cook. I don't see Kristen, so we will go to Todd Larsen.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity to speak. My name is Todd Larsen. I'm a resident of College Park and also a Washington Gas customer. And I oppose this rate hike and encourage the PSC to reject it. This rate hike is extraordinarily expensive for ratepayers. We're looking at a projected almost $50 million increase in costs or a 5.3% increase in rates. And for all of that, it's not going to be effective at reducing emissions. So the company wants to charge customers for its climate-related programs, including false solutions such as renewable natural gas and methane capture and reinjection. These programs are extraordinarily expensive and by the company's own estimates have avoided only a minuscule amount of greenhouse gas emissions. And especially when you compare that to the massive emissions that come from natural gas, which is their business model. Ultimately, as other folks have said, natural gas cannot be a climate solution. It is not a bridge to a clean energy economy. It is a false solution. And it's a primary driver of the climate crisis itself. So instead of funding these false solutions, such as certified natural gas or methane capture, Washington Gas should be putting funding into a transition to electric infrastructure and electrification, as other folks have said. So the proposal from Washington Gas is not going to result in meaningful reduction of emissions and basically just amounts to greenwashing. And worse still, this would increase costs to ratepayers to cover these meaningless measures. So as a Washington Gas customer in Maryland, I urge the PSC to deny Washington Gas's proposed rate hike. We need real climate solution, not expensive band-aids and greenwashing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person on our list is Kendra Epstein.
Hi there. Hold on just a second. Hi there, my name is Kendra Epstein, and actually I have one of my kids here. She can't hear you, but hopefully you can see her. And I have one of my other kids currently in the shower. We are very happy Maryland residents. We live in Montgomery County. My husband's originally from Montgomery County. I grew up in Virginia. I was very excited to move to Montgomery County and very happy to be a Maryland resident. We are so grateful for so many aspects of Maryland, including how progressive it can be in terms of climate change and climate goals in comparison to other states, including Virginia. However, I was pretty disappointed about this anticipated rate hike, hence why I'm spending our Thursday evening trying to make sure I was here this evening while we are also trying to prepare for tomorrow's school day. So I'm here to encourage you to decline the rate increase that's proposed by Washington Gas because it does not help Maryland meet its future climate goals. And you can probably hear too the kids in the background that this is most greatly going to impact, because just by looking at the people that have been on the screen so far, of course, we're probably not going to be around in the next 50 or more years, in which, you know, these are the generations that are going to be really feeling the impacts of our decisions made today. So thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to share my opinion. And I trust that you guys will be making the right decision. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list is Steve Brigham. I don't see Steve, so we will go to Laurie Welsh. I don't see Laurie, so we will go to Michael Bloom. Michael, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Good evening. I'm here to urge the PSC to reject Washington Gas's rate hike. Washington Gas has no plans to meaningfully reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Instead, their plan is full of fake solutions that even they admit don't work. The programs they want us to pay for include, quote, renewable natural gas, unquote, and methane capture and reinjection. These programs are extremely expensive, and by Washington Gas's own estimates, have avoided only a minuscule amount of greenhouse gas emissions. Washington Gas estimates that its RNG efforts have avoided about 1/2 of 1% of the emissions associated with customers burning the gas Washington Gas provides. The company provides no information relating to the level of GHG benefits obtained by procuring certified gas, whatever that is. Percentage of methane emissions was avoided, the cost effectiveness of the effort, or even what share of total procured supply earned the certification of certified gas. In terms of methane capture and reinjection program, the company's goal for the 2023 methane capture and reinjection program is recovery of 700,000 cubic feet of gas, a minuscule reduction, about 0.012% compared to the company's 2021 greenhouse gas emissions. The company provides no evidence as to the cost or cost effectiveness of its capture and reinjection program or its potential in significantly reducing emissions in the state. These programs are nothing more than window dressing. They're as phony as Catherine the Great's construction project. Everyone on this call knows one thing. Everyone, commissioners, citizens. Washington Gas wants this rate hike to pay for more fossil fuel infrastructure. As one of the architects of last year's historic climate legislation, Commissioner Barve knows full well that Washington Gas is holding Maryland back from meeting its climate goals. Finally, I wonder how many of you know that Chairman Hoover was a founding board member of the Maryland League of Conservation Voters. Chairman Hoover, we are urging you to live up to those principles and do what's right for the ratepayers of this state. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Next.
Amanda, this is Doug. I'm getting
Hi,
a
Doug.
slight echo. Hi. Could you ask Michael Richards to double check, see his mic's on?
Let's see. Yes. I'm gonna mute you, Commissioner Richards. There we go. Does that help?
That's
Okay.
much better. Thank you.
Okay. Next on our list is Bob Kellaway.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Kellaway. I'm a Bowie resident. I'm a member of the Bowie Green Team and a military veteran. Thank you for, I want to, first of all, acknowledge Washington Gas and Light's decades of providing energy to the region. However, the times are changing. You know, Earth, our pale blue dot, is cooking, and methane is one of the major causes. At the home level, there is a harmful health impact of gas stoves, gas heating, gas hot water heaters. And what we need is responsible leadership to do what's right for our community and the world. Washington Gas and Light is in a position to provide that leadership. If you look at their website, it looks like there's a little bit of greenwashing going on. They talk about, you know, green power and carbon reduction, how crucial sustainability is, the certified gas program, where I guess they can certify that the natural gas that they get reduces methane emissions by 80%, but it doesn't say 80% of what. There's still methane emissions going on. If you look at their website and other places, they talk about a renewable energy plan, and it provides, in there it says going with renewable energy provides cost savings, price stability, and brand reputation. But on that very same page down at the bottom, WGL is pushing natural gas. It's like, what? It's like, this crazy. So I think we need to employ what we know works and is cheaper. Solar generates the cheapest and most stable cost electricity that we know of to date. Which Washington Gas and Light has invested in and offers to businesses, along with wind turbine generated electricity. So instead of investing in marginally effective greenhouse gas reduction strategies, let's use these dollars to provide rebates to convert gas units in our residences to heat pumps, induction stoves, heat pump hot water heaters. So I think we could do better with, if there is a rate increase, we can use that money much more effectively than what is being used by WGL to date. So unless they can provide those kinds of, that kind of leadership, I recommend against the rate hike for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last on our list is Allison Cole. I don't see Allison. Is there anyone in the room that did not get the chance to speak?
Your Honors, this is Juliana Bell from OPC. I think I was on time for the call, but wasn't let into the room. Just wondering whether at the beginning of the call there was any opportunity for introduction of staff, OPC, and WGL, or whether you went directly to the testimony.
Actually, we went directly to the witnesses. But if you want to, introduce yourself, go right ahead. So.
Well, thank you, and I don't want to take any opportunity that other parties don't have, Your Honor, but I just note that this sounds like a knowledgeable group of commenters today, so I won't go through my prepared spiel, but I will say that OPC was listening in on the call and heard your comments. We are advocating for a reduction in WGL's revenues, their distribution revenues, versus the overall increase of $49.4 million that they're requesting. We've identified a number of other adjustments in their proposal, which you can see if you go to the Commission's website, click on the yellow click here, case number button on the left, and type in case number 9704. It will take you to the docket where you can read all of the parties' testimony, including ours. You can also read more about what OPC does at OPC's website, opcmaryland.gov, as well as reach me if you have any additional comments at juliana.bell2@maryland.gov, and I can put that in the chat. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So any other witnesses come in that hadn't previously shown up?
I don't see anything, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody who took the time and opportunity to present their testimony to us. This becomes part of the official record that we use when we make our deliberations on this rate proceeding, along with the file testimony from the Office of People's Counsel and our staff, along with other interveners in this case, as well as the application itself from WGL. So I thank everybody for their time this evening, and everybody have a good night. Take care.
Off the record, thank you.
Okay.